Welcome back, folks. Ravi Rachuram, and in studio with us we have Zaheer Ali from the Zaheer Ali Foundation. We were talking about the wonderful things that's happening in this country, this wonderful land of ours, Trinidad and Tobago, our motherland that each and every one of us love and we contribute. You know, we have viewers tuned in from all parts of the globe at present. We have streaming. Win TV is actually streaming online, so I want us to recognize my family in Queens, in New York, Vijanti and the Gildari, and all those in Miami. We have my sister in Canada, Vedvati, and the Jambahadur family, Shakuntala Jambahadur, Dharmesh Jambahadur, and all of them. All parts of the world is actually tuning tonight, sharing with us the wonderful things that is happening here in Trinidad and Tobago. And we were discussing, you know, we mentioned the PTSC and how the PTSC work towards making, you know, people's lives better in transporting. There are so much other conglomerates and big businesses that, you know, help us develop our nation, develop our country. Recently, we saw some development taking place down in the West, in the Western Peninsula.
Yes.
That is with the CDA. And we have the boardwalk. For those of you all who have not visited the boardwalk down in Chagaramas, it's a wonderful experience to go down there. You can get something to eat. You can have a nice romantic stroll. There's some park benches. It's a very eco-friendly environment because I understand the entire boardwalk has been built out of recycled plastics. It looks like wood, but it's built out of recycled plastics, and the lights are solar lights, solar LED lights. The TSCT has made their contribution towards having a Wi-Fi zone, a B zone, you know, and we're seeing a lot of activity. So one of these days, we are going to definitely be visiting the Broadwalk. Today, this morning, Zaheer, I actually started my day in Point Fortin. I had a visit to Point Fortin, and for those of you all who have not visited the Clifton Hill Beach facility down in Point Fortin, that is a wonderful place to look at, and one of these days also we are going to be visiting Clifton Hill. So folks, we're going to be opening up back the phone line, 665-6278. We'd like to hear from you, and we'd like to hear your contribution in your community. But Zaheer, as we go back into the Zaheer Ali Foundation, and we were talking about the process to develop that product of youth development, youth awareness, we started speaking about the resources that you require to apply to the process. And I'm sure, you know, there must be some people behind you that you would like to recognize, and you would like to speak about the structure. Tell us about the structure of the organization.
Well, you know, as I mentioned earlier, you know, someone can have the thought of something that they want to execute. But I think without the people on the foundation, all the officers, you know, who have made their invaluable contribution, not only to the foundation, but indirectly to Trinidad and Tobago, I want to openly say that, you know, I am very much appreciative of your contribution. And, you know, I am very thankful for it, and I hope that you will continue to execute in the way that you have done. So all the foundation officers, all the affiliates, all the other stakeholders, I see on national television here that I am greatly appreciative. Thank you on behalf of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and I ask for your continued support. But Ravi, you know, one of my driving force, and I want to share it with Trinidad and Tobago and maybe the young people, is that your parents, you know, something that we, you know, as young people, when we move ahead, we mature, we get old, you know, we get married, we move on to different aspects in life. We tend to forget where we came from. And I think that if we revisit where we came from, you're going to see standing there, or you're going to, you know, recognize the role that your parents played in your development. And
what
to my parents,
is so true, huh?
And that's something that, you know, when you look at society today, when you look at parenting, it's an area that, you know, we are facing a lot of challenges in terms of really, do we really understand what it needs to parent?
Yes.
You know, that's something that we basically have misconstrued over the years. And to my parents, you know, Ravi, I want to take the opportunity to say, you know, Mom and Dad, you know, I'm very grateful for you all. I think that, you know, yes, your son is, you know, executing in this way together with all the other officers, but really and truly, you all are the one who should be given the, you know, the kudos, and not Zaheer Ali or not the other officers. And I hope that all other parents who have done tremendously well, that they ought to be commended as well. And those who are not performing at the level that they should be performing, I urge you all, and I plead with you all, you know, let's take a stance in the lives of our children. Definitely.
Zaheer, as you mentioned that, you know, what come to my mind is here in Trinidad and Tobago, part of our culture is we worship our parents. You know, we worship. I grew up knowing Mom and Dad is my first God. You know, we worship them. They provide everything for us. Normally, when you want something, you go down on your knees, you put your hands, and you say a prayer. But most of our prayers have been answered by our parents. And what we see happening in the country is that a lot of families stay close. They stay united. They stay together. In other parts of the world, from the time a child turns 18, the child moves on to their own place. 18, 19, they moves on to their own place. But here, we have to congratulate the parents who shelter, who provide mentorship, who provide leadership to our youngsters, our youths who are developing. You know, it is a challenge, but they continue. So I guess your parents would have been a major inspiration into carrying out this set of activities. What inspired you? What motivated you?
Well, definitely, you know, seeing my parents, the kind of sacrifices that they made as you know, me being a young man in terms of, you know, basically, you know, financing my cricketing equipment, you know, taking me to school, ensuring that my food is cooked on time. You know, these are things that, you know, we take for granted. And this is where I think that, you know, when we look at society today, we are not doing the basic things. You know, you know, we are developing society. You know, we're looking for ways of becoming efficient and effective. But you can only build on something if there's a stable foundation. And when you find that you're not, you know, and I'm going to give the example of cricket. When you're falling short of form,
yeah,
they say that, oh, you're not scoring heavily or you're not getting the kind of wickets that you need. The first thing that the technical aspect teaches you is to go back to the basics. And the basics will tell you maybe you was not doing something that you're supposed to be doing, and that's why you're not achieving the level of success. So when you look at the decay or the way that we have the societies, you know, moving in terms of the challenges we face, let's retract. Let's go back and see whether we are actually serving God, whether we are actually parenting properly, whether we are actually building communities, whether we are looking out for each other. Let's go back to these basic things. And when we answer those questions, then now we can say, listen, we have a stable foundation, we are doing this thing correct, then now we can build on that to move forward as a nation. So I think that without looking at the basics, Ravi, I think that what we'll be doing is that we'll be taking 2 steps forward, but in between we'll be taking a step backward. So we always at the same place all the time.
Yes, yes, yes. But that's okay. Sometimes it's a setback. They say is a setup for a comeback. And, you know, in basketball, they use the terms. So, folks, you know, while we recognize the parents of our society who contribute towards, you know, developing each and every one of us, also, Zaheer, something that is important is peer support. You know, friends. They say, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are.
Yes.
You know, and that is a famous statement here in Trinidad and Tobago. It is so good that the work that you are doing and the foundation and the people around you, even, you know, in terms of my development, I have some friends like Arnold and Randy and Barry and Dave, you know, and my friends have really helped me as a young man develop, you know. Sometimes in life we have an approach towards things based on how we, you know, what we know. Based on what you know, you approach things in one way. And then there are people who come into your life, like my good friend Randy, and showed me, you know, different approach.
Yes.
Sometimes take your time, pause, press the pause button, analyze a situation properly.
Correct.
You know, don't be quick to act, but analyze the situation properly. And, you know, sometimes we see youngsters amongst us, you know, developing rage and developing temper and developing anger and vexation because they have not gotten that type of mentorship, you know, and that type of training and that type of teaching. But what you are doing with your youth development programs, I must say, is very commendable. It's very commendable. And it's important for us to recognize outside there that we as youngsters, we have a lot of youth that is looking at the show as youngsters. We have an important role to play in terms of peer support.
Yes.
When we see a young person being led astray or a young person going down a negative path, to pull up on them, to show them the right way. And if it is that you can't, you know, you seek some sort of authority for intervention. Yeah. And I know the Zaheer Ali Foundation is here to support and to answer for those of you youths out there who think that you may need the support of a bigger brother.
Yes.
Definitely, we have the Zaheer Ali Foundation. You can tell us a little more how one can join the foundation and how they can contact the foundation.
Well, before I go, in terms of sharing the information, Ravi, I want to also take this opportunity. I think it would not be nice, you know, being married recently. You know, my wife have been robbed of her time, you know, for the purpose of Trinidad and Tobago development. And I want to say to her that, you know, I greatly appreciate you. And again, to the public that, that at some point in time you need a partner, you need someone to support you. And support has to be looked at throughout your life in whatever you're doing. In terms of the foundation, you all can take 491-5045 as the contact number, or 645-1691. Say again, 491-5045 or 645-1691. Or you can Google the Zaheer Ali Foundation, or you can, if you have a Facebook account, you can
spell that Zaheer Ali.
Zaheer, Z-A-H-E-E-R. Z-A-H-E-E-R. Zaheer Ali, Z-A-H-E-E-R.
Yes.
Zaheer Ali Foundation, or you can Google it. Or if you have a Facebook account, you can probably log in that information. Or if you can, if you want to contact via phone, 645-1691 or 491-5045. Ravi, further, we are in the process of building a website. So sooner or later, we'll have our website, which we will share with you all in the near future.
Right. Nice, man. Nice. So we will definitely be looking forward. We will be definitely looking forward for that future information that we can share with our viewing audience outside there. And okay. Yeah. So, folks, we are approaching that time where all good things must come to an end.
Yes.
We are approaching that time where we have to move on. But I want to say thank you very much for being here with us. Thank you very much for viewing. Is there any last message that you would like to leave our audience before we close?
Well, I want to say to you, Ravi, it's indeed a pleasure for me to be here this afternoon. Thanks for the invitation. I think you're doing a terrific job as well. I hope that you continue along that way. And I say to Trinidad and Tobago that once you have life, development is possible.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Zaheer. I might as well shake your hand once again. And folks, I enjoyed tonight. I appreciate the phone calls. Next week, we're going to be here again, 8 p.m. on Win TV, Building TNT. Check us on our Facebook page, and we're looking forward to hear from you. So, it was good, and we'll see you again next week. All the best.